Assalamu alaikum, and welcome back once again to Today in African History with Baba Shaka. I'm Baba Shaka, and today is March 4th, 2021, and we are in the midst of Women's History Month. Now, for those of you who have been following this channel, you know that for the next few days, we will, inshallah, be focusing on African women who have served their countries as either president or prime minister. Yesterday, we covered Sylvie Kanigi of Burundi. Today, we're going to delve into the life of the woman some call the Iron Lady of Africa. Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf, who was born on the 29th or on October 29th, actually, in 1938 in Monrovia, Liberia, is a Liberian politician and economist who was president of Liberia from 2006 to 2018. She was the first woman to be elected head of state of an African country. Johnson-Sirleaf was one of three recipients, along with Lyman Gebowe and Tawakkul Karman, of the 2011 Nobel Prize for Peace for their efforts to further women's rights. Johnson-Sirleaf is of mixed Gola and German heritage. Her father was the first indigenous Liberian to sit in the national legislature. She was educated at the College of West Africa in Monrovia, and at age 17 married James Sirleaf in 1961, though they were later divorced. Johnson-Sirleaf went to the United States to study economics and business administration, and after obtaining a master's degree in 1971 in public administration from Harvard University, she entered government service in Liberia. Johnson-Sirleaf served as Assistant Minister of Finance from 1972 to 1973 under President William Tolbert, and as Finance Minister from 1980 to 1985 in Samuel Doe's military dictatorship. She became known for her personal financial integrity and clashed with both heads of state. During Doe's regime, she was imprisoned twice and narrowly avoided execution. In the 1985 national election, she campaigned for a seat in the Senate and openly criticized the military government, which led to her arrest and a 10-year prison sentence. She was released after a short time and allowed to leave the country. Now, during 12 years of exile in Kenya and the United States, during which time Liberia collapsed into civil war, Johnson-Sirleaf became an influential economist for the World Bank, Citibank, and other international financial institutions. From 1992 to 1997, she was the director of the Regional Bureau for Africa of the United Nations Development Program. Now, after a tentative truce had been reached in Liberia's conflict, Johnson-Sirleaf ran for president in the 1997 election, representing the Unity Party, or the UP. She finished second to Charles Taylor and was forced back into exile when his government charged her with treason. By 1999, Liberia's civil war had resumed. After Taylor went into exile in 2003, Johnson-Sirleaf returned to Liberia to chair the Commission on Good Governance, which oversaw preparations for democratic elections. In 2005, she again ran for president, vowing to end civil strife and corruption, establish unity, and rebuild the country's devastated infrastructure. Known as the Iron Lady, she placed second in the first round of voting, and on November 8, 2005, she won the runoff elections, defeating football or soccer superstar and legend George Weah. Johnson-Sirleaf was sworn in as president of Liberia on January 16, 2006. With more than 15,000 United Nations peacekeepers in the country and unemployment running at 80%, Johnson-Sirleaf faced serious challenges. She immediately sought debt amelioration and aid from the international community. By late 2010, Liberia's entire debt had been erased, and Johnson-Sirleaf had secured millions of dollars of foreign investment in the country. In addition, she established a Truth and Reconciliation Committee, or TRC, in 2006 to probe corruption and heal ethnic tensions. Ironically, in 2009, Johnson-Sirleaf was mentioned in one of the TRC's report, which recommended that she, along with a number of others, be banned from holding elective office for 30 years for having supported warring factions in the Civil War. In Johnson-Sirleaf's case, she had supported Taylor for a short time very early in the war. The report's recommendations were not binding, though, and she was buoyed by a widespread demonstration of both domestic and international support. Efforts towards eradicating corruption, a significant problem that Johnson-Sirleaf had pledged to end, included the creation of the Anti-Government Commission in 2008. Despite having previously pledged to serve only one term as president, in 2010, Johnson-Sirleaf announced her intent to stand in the October 2011 presidential election, stating that she still had work to do. A month before the election, however, Johnson-Sirleaf's eligibility was challenged in court by a small opposition group that pointed to a provision of the Constitution that stated that all presidential candidates were to have resided in Liberia for 10 years prior to an election, a requirement that Johnson-Sirleaf and several other candidates did not meet, and one that the government had tried but failed to have changed via referendum in August of 2011. 6 days before the election, the Supreme Court dismissed the challenge, noting that the writers of the 1986 Constitution could not have foreseen the years of conflict that forced many Liberians to live outside the country. Additional pre-election controversies was generated when Johnson-Sirleaf won the Nobel Peace Prize mere days before the poll. Other candidates complained that the Nobel Committee was interfering with Liberian politics by awarding the prize so close to the election. More than a dozen candidates stood in the October 11, 2011 election. Johnson-Sirleaf was the top vote getter with more than 43% of the votes, followed by Winston Tubman, who was running with soccer legend Weah as his vice presidential candidate, and they garnered about 32% of the votes. As Johnson-Sirleaf did not win more than 50%, a runoff election was held on November 8th. It did not go as smoothly as the first round of voting, however. Tubman and the Congress for Democratic Change Party had raised allegations of voting irregularities in the first round. Now, although these allegations were widely dismissed as being unsubstantiated, they still cast a pall on the second round of voting, as Tubman announced that he was dropping out of the race and called for voters to boycott the election. Though Johnson-Sirleaf was re-elected with slightly more than 90% of the vote, her victory was clouded by Tubman's withdrawal and low voter turnout, which was less than half that of the first round. Although Johnson-Sirleaf's administration had made efforts to curb corruption, it continued to be a problem during her second term. Complaints of nepotism also hit the administration, with Johnson-Sirleaf herself coming under fire in 2012 because some of her children had high-level jobs in government or state-owned enterprises. Economic progress continued during Johnson-Sirleaf's second term until the country was hit with the devastating Ebola virus disease in 2014. Over the course of the next 2 years, the disease killed more than 4,800 Liberians, crippled the country's economy, and erased many of the country's hard-fought gains of the previous post-war decade. As the country attempted to recover from Ebola, Johnson-Sirleaf, constitutionally limited to 2 terms as president, prepared to step down after the 2017 presidential election. Her running mate of the previous 2 elections and the vice president at the time of Liberia was Joseph Boakai, and he became the presidential candidate of her political party, the Unity Party, or UP. After the first round of voting, however, she was accused by the UP, her own party, of having supported another presidential candidate, her previous opponent, soccer legend John Weah. Although she vigorously denied the accusation, the charges persisted, and in January 2018, the UP expelled her from the party. Later that month, on January 22nd, she stepped down as president of Liberia, handing power to Weah, who had emerged as the winner of the second round of voting. It was the first transfer of power between democratically elected leaders in Liberia since 1944. In recognition of Johnson-Sirleaf's leadership of Liberia during the challenging period of transition after the country's devastating years of conflict, and for the positive changes that took place in Liberia under her administration, in February 2018, she was awarded the 2017 Ibrahim Prize for Achievement in African Leadership. The award provided $5 million disbursed over 10 years, followed by an annual $200,000 stipend for the rest of Johnson-Sirleaf's life. It's pretty good. It also brought the possibility of the foundation awarding another $200,000 annually over the course of 10 years to charitable causes supported by Johnson-Sirleaf. Now, once again, please allow me to remind you that these short presentations are not intended to give you the full story, so to speak, of the subject matters discussed on this channel, but rather to awaken your interest and curiosity that will hopefully lead you to look deeper into the lives of the people or events covered here. So I encourage you to take a closer look at the life and achievements of Madam Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf. A big thank you to all of you who have subscribed to this channel, and I encourage those of you who have not yet done so to do so. Don't be shy, just tap that subscribe button. Make sure that you like and comment, but most importantly, share, especially with the young in our midst. So until tomorrow, inshallah, this is Baba Shaka with Today in African History. Masalam.